If you want a free week trial at The Athletic and not 20%, not 30%, not 40%, but 50% off your subscription, head over to theathletic.com/thinkingbasketball. They have a collection of the industry's best, including names like David Aldridge, former Grizzlies VP John Hollinger, and many more. They cover local teams, they're ad-free, you can customize your feed in their app, and you help support this channel by signing up at theathletic.com/thinkingbasketball for your free trial today. A year after going 11th in a loaded draft, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander has emerged as one of the league's most promising sophomores this year. He's nearly doubled his scoring rate for the suddenly surging Thunder, and his bevy of hesitation moves and slippery drives has people wondering, hey, just how good can he be? Let's start with those rim attacks where he gets incredibly low, almost like he's ducking under a defender, and that off-arm protecting his dribble and clearing space. He'll throw up fakes at people too, and has a little baby dream shake showing the ball and spinning back. Notice this spin isn't about incredible counter athleticism. He doesn't pivot hard off that foot, but just gathers his feet and starts a new move, then uses his body position to get by his man. And Shai's handle is incredibly tight, in and out into a crossover, and then he gets super low. He's buckled the defender momentarily, so that's enough to snake around him, and Shai does this all on feel. All these tricks make up for his lack of explosiveness, and his steady-handed control keeps his ball handling turnovers way, way down. There's the inside-out move, he feels the cutoff, spins back, and it's just steady as she goes. Here, Beal beats him to the spot, so Shai just flips it in the other direction, and it's nearly an and one. And on the very next trip, he's cut off again, but this time he goes to the behind the back to get his way to the line. SGA's just a natural with this change of pace, here accelerating when Brunson's hips head in the wrong direction, then he turns him around, decelerates with these elongated strides, and that's just nice. He has a great feel for subtle advantages like this, riding this angle, and then he's very comfortable finishing with that left hand. Again, it's slow and methodical until Plumlee reaches, then he slithers into the opening with a burst. Inside out, into the crossover, and glides into the finish. Have I mentioned he has a nice handle? Gilgeous-Alexander isn't exactly a vertical finisher, but he's big enough to finish into and through contests like this against a variety of players. And while he may never be a great rim finisher, this pattern of challenging contests earns him enough free throws to get by. His shiftiness doesn't always take him to the rim though, and Shai likes this step back move. Those long strides set this thing up, and he's big enough to release it over guards and forwards alike. And he complements this with a little floater game too, although despite his soft touch, he's only at 40% from the mid-range this year. Not bad, but not an efficiency booster either. That jumper looks a little unorthodox with that two-part motion, but he can pull it quickly off the dribble. However, watch this play again. It's a pick and roll, and the bouncy Noel is there for the lob. Shai's regularly missing this pass right now, and the key, of course, is to throw it early and anticipate the opening, which is something he isn't fully comfortable with yet. He does have vision and can find openings, specifically when he feels another defender helping toward him. His best pass right now is this drive and lay down. When a second defender shows up in his path, then he'll start hunting for the drop-off. He's had this instinct for a while, and I sense that he can expand this into pick and roll reads and early lob passes as he grows more comfortable directing offense out of ball screens. He shows some flashes already, here leading Adams into a spot beautifully off this handoff action. Another major pick and roll read today is that skip pass, when the weak side defender slides over to help. We've seen so many other great passers make this read on this channel, and Shai is tall enough and I think willing to add these kinds of passes to his repertoire. There are issues with accuracy on some of his deliveries right now, and I think repetition will polish these out and in turn upgrade his playmaking value. Gilgeous-Alexander's been a solid three-point shooter since entering the league, making 37% of his shots from behind the line. Even though it's more of a set shot than his mid-ranger, it's still soft enough that it works, and the release is quick enough that, combined with his size, he'll pull it over smaller defenders when there's just a little airspace. I'm not sure how much improvement to expect over the years with these exact mechanics, but his 80% free throw shooting and general touch have provided a viable floor of at least an average three-point shooter. On defense, SGA is more of a TBD. He uses his length well. That 7-foot wingspan really sneaks up on you, and he can deploy that length challenging shots like this on the ball or in closeout situations where he can cover ground quickly and disrupt shooters. Because he's so wiry, he navigates screens fairly well, staying connected on this play, and when he falls a full step behind, he's still dangerous in rear-view pursuit because of that great length. Shai's size and wingspan help him contain and contest, but he doesn't have the quickest feet in the world on the ball. Notice how heavy these steps are and how much weight is on his heels. This leads to him being beaten off the first step a decent amount and is compounded by his lack of physicality. Larger players can move him backwards on their drives, and when he's switched onto a big man, he really has no answers for their strength. Shai's lack of strength, along with mediocre verticality, limit his playmaking in the paint on defense despite that incredible 7-foot wingspan. Instead of reacting to the ball here, he sort of stumbles downhill and serves as a large traffic cone. Although I think he does have enough tools that, along with some physical maturity and experience, could make him a bit more disruptive on this front. He's still a bit confused out there right now. Here he just can't seem to decide, and the wires are frequently crossed inside pick and roll situations like this. Shai's assuming that his big man has the baseline covered, but he's just getting into the action. Off ball, he doesn't have his internal GPS fully tuned to the man and the basketball, and on this play he stares at the dribbler despite his man streaking right behind him for an easy 2. Again, here's a little ball watching, and on this very same sequence, a delicate box out leads to another rebound. I think there are glimpses that hint at a better defender here, but his lack of a high motor doesn't make me too optimistic about him on this side of the ball going forward. One-number defensive metrics view him as a slight negative on that end, and I agree with that assessment right now, which drives down most of his overall impact numbers, except for my box score model, which is more offensively slanted. My biggest question for Shai moving forward is whether adding size to his frame can upgrade his value on not just offense, but defense as well. I'm confident he'll end up as an above-average passer, but I'm not sure he has a superstar ceiling as a playmaker. Will he be comfortable enough with his shot in the future to punish, say, drop coverages out of the pick and roll with pull-up threes and jumpers? It's still a bit unclear what that final form looks like, but his current trajectory is consistent with lower-end all-star guards, and I think that's the perfect description for his prospects moving forward. For my money, he's close to a top 50 player this year, and there's a decent chance that at his peak, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander could be an all-star level guard. Thanks so much for watching. Remember to check out theathletic.com/thinkingbasketball for that free week trial and 50% off the subscription price. If you want a leaderboard for all the stats you see in these videos, I do provide one to top-tier Patreon subscribers that updates daily. So for more information, head over to patreon.com/thinkingbasketball. And otherwise, remember to keep on thinking basketball, thinking about basketball. It doesn't work. Look, just have a great day.